and welcome to this week's lesson of American English pronunciation. We are going to continue learning about American English vowels. So last week we focused on comparing and contrasting two vowel sounds that are often confused for non-native speakers or confusing. And today we're going to continue along with that in mind, but we're going to talk about two different vowel sounds that are also often mixed up or confused or hard to distinguish for both listening or speaking for people who are learning English. So today I have my board here for you, and today's focus is going to be on these two sounds that you see here. And again, I'm using the phonetic alphabet, so these symbols that you see here represent sounds, not letters, because letters, again, are often misleading. So these symbols help us to identify sounds. Here we have two because sometimes, depending on what device or resource you're using, they can vary, but this one's always the same, okay? So this sound is eh, and this sound is ah. And we're going to talk about mouth positioning, especially lip rounding, so we can be very clear of how to produce this sound. So the first picture here you can see is underneath the sound eh. I tried my best to make a little drawing, but here it says it's unrounded and not so shortened. And here it says unrounded and open wide. Okay. So here what's going on versus here what's going on. Let's look at my mouth and lips to see if we can mimic that. So we have the first sound, eh, eh, eh. My lips are short, not super tight, not round, versus the second sound, which is ah, ah. My mouth is open, right? My lips are not round like right, but they're more open. So again, first sound is eh, eh. A little bit, you see the corners of my mouth go up a bit. The second sound is ah. Now, the corners aren't moving, but my jaw is. So you see my mouth opening. Ah. Eh. Ah. Okay? So let's think about some words that use those two sounds so that we can really understand what are we saying. Okay? I wrote here that both are lax vowels. Lax vowels is just a linguistic term, but if you're familiar with it, then it might help you to identify the sound better and produce it. So, some examples here to compare. The first example that we have here is bet. That's the first sound, eh, and again the word is bet. So you see that's happening, the same phenomena is happening with my lips. The corners of my mouth are going up. My mouth is not round and slightly open. The word we're going to compare it to is bat. Bat. So the first word again is bet. The second word is bat. So bet, bet, bat, bat. Okay, so you can see, first time corners go up, second time jaw is moving. Another example we have here is pen, and the word we're going to compare it to is pan. So these sounds match this, these sounds match this. Okay, so first word, first sound, pen, pen. A pen is something you use to write with. And the second word is pan. Pan. A pan is something you use to cook with. Next word is men. man. Men, man. Men, men. And as I mentioned in my last video, it might be helpful for you to really exaggerate those movements. Men, okay? When I say it, I'm more comfortable, so I don't, but for practice, it's good to exaggerate. Versus pan, pan, pen, pen, pan, pan, okay? Next, the word we just did, men, man, men, man, okay? And what do those two words mean? Well, one is plural and one is singular, right? Men, M-E-N, means more than one. Man, man is singular, okay? Few more words here. Next word we have is head versus had, okay? First word again is head, 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 head. Second word is had, had, had. A, e, a, e, a, e, a. So it feels weird to move your mouth in certain ways that your language doesn't do, right? But the idea is to look in a mirror, practice on video, or practice with a friend till we get over our insecurities, okay? So head versus had. Had is the past tense of the verb have. Next word on the list is dead versus dad. Dead versus dad. I know that's not a great word, but it's important because if I want to say dead and I don't want to say dad or vice versa, it's important to make that distinction with your pronunciation. So the first word again is dead. Dead. Second word is dad. 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 E, a, e, a. Dead, dad. Okay? And the last word on the list for practice is send and sand. Send and sand. Again, first word here is send, sand, send, sand, send, sand. E, a, send, sand. Okay? So going through these words again. Bet, bat, pen, pan, men, man, head, had, dead, dad, send, sand. Okay? So let me know, as per usual, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Please comment below if you thought that this video was helpful, and also any suggestions that you might have for further learning. See you next time.